She's the Director of Campaigns at Sex Matters. Fiona, very good morning to you. Welcome back.
Good morning.
So, as if we had to declare it to be news, we do have to declare it to be news. Single-sex toilets are back. Incredibly, it doesn't mean, though, however, that you still can't have an old gender-neutral toilet. They're going to leave those still where they are, right?
Well, we have to see, don't we? I mean, this is just yet again returning to what was always considered normal and common sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people will be very pleased about this. They'll wonder why it took so long, because yet again we've seen something that the majority of people wanted being swept aside in order to accommodate a very tiny minority.
Exactly.
I think the worst one is when you walk into a theatre and they have toilets labelled gender neutral with urinals. Well, we all know who uses those.
Right.
All that happens is that the women get even less provision and the queues get even longer.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, it's women who seemingly are always the ones who suffer whenever these new, fangled ideas get put into practice. And I said to somebody earlier on the show today, you'd never get anybody dreaming of saying, I tell you what, let's just do away with disabled toilets and make the disabled people just use the regular toilet, because that would be more inclusive for everyone.
Well, they call it inclusive, but it's clearly not, is it? It's about accommodating the feelings of some people who, for whatever reason, don't want to go into the men's toilets,
right.
And everyone has to suffer as a consequence. And I think it does affect, I agree with you, it's worse for women, but I think most men don't want it either.
No, of course not. I mean, one of the things that we do in life is mostly we're together. There are very few places as a man you can be with just other men, and there are very few places as a woman you can be just with other women. And it would seem fairly normal and fairly rational for those places to include lavatories.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bottom line. Most of the time, we want men and women, boys and girls, to have the same opportunities. We don't want stereotypes. We don't want to say those are boys' things and girls' things. But there are some occasions when we do want to be separate from the opposite sex, and toilets are one of the most commonly occurring ones. It happens every day.
Exactly right. Let me ask you about another story that I spotted over the weekend, and it's quite an interesting one, this, because I'm hoping anyway that I'm seeing a kind of a reversal of some of the stuff we've been seeing over the last few years. Stonewall seemingly getting an incredible sort of grip on corporate Britain, and also on the public sector, and also on all sorts of schooling as well. But Sport England has apparently cut ties with Stonewall amid latest warnings from the government that they should cut their ties with sort of quangos and distancing themselves from that particular lobbying group. They were in the past giving them, not huge amounts of money, but they were giving them money every single year to promote kind of, gender neutral sport, if you like. So is this an encouraging sign as well?
Yeah, it's good. And I think the issue is only partly about the money they were giving Stonewall. The bigger problem is that they may have been taking advice from Stonewall on policies. Now, Sport England have got women and girls as one of the groups that they really want to encourage more to be active. They've also got ethnic minorities, religious minorities. And we know that those are all the people, the female people, who will be deterred if there are males around when they go to do sport. So it's not compatible for Sport England to be promoting the Stonewall idea of self-identification, that anyone's a woman if they say they are.
Well, surely the point of all of these organisations like Sport England is that they've forgotten what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be promoting sport, not promoting, trans ideology. Surely if you want to call yourself Trans Ideology England, then you can do that. But if you want to promote sport between men and women, some of which is shared, some of which is individually based on gender, then you go ahead and promote it. Yeah,
I mean, some people have said that it may be a problem that the lead on a senior employee at Sport England is trans-identified, and that could get in the way. I would not say that. I think it depends how that person does their job. But you very much hope that the disappearance of Stonewall from Sport England will leave those people free to focus on their core job, which is to make sport accessible for everyone and not to favour one group over another.
Well, isn't that a bit like saying, the head of Sport England is a Manchester United supporter, and so it's only Manchester United that get promotion by Sport England? It's nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah, and you hope that wouldn't happen. So let's wait and see. But I think this is a good step forward. I think Sport England need to focus on providing male-free sport and male-free changing rooms. We know that's essential for the participation of women and girls in sport.
Yes, absolutely right. Good to talk to you once again, Fiona. Thank you very much indeed. Fiona McAnena there, Director of Campaigns for Sex Matters.